Okay, so it's actually kind of like rainy and dreary out today. It's been raining all day. This is like the first time it's rained in like, oh my God, I don't even remember the last time it rained. But this is the only day that we're getting rain. It's not supposed to rain tomorrow or for the foreseeable future. So it's just like one random day of rain. So it's kind of, it's dreary. I turned the backlight on, so it might be a little warm. So I'll have to see if I can edit it in post. But I thought what could be fun today is to go over all of or review. You know, I'm so bad at reviewing makeup sometimes. It's like I have all these ideas and like brands that I want to review, and I like talk to you guys about them, and then I like never review them. I'm definitely more of like a skincare reviewer than a makeup reviewer, I would say. I do a lot of like get ready with me's or like trying new makeup, but when it comes to like reviews, I hardly do any like reviews on my channel. I do a lot of swatches. But, so I was thinking of like what I wanted to film the other day. And so I was like, well, Ilia's had some releases this year that I haven't formally reviewed. Maybe I should just do a video with like all of the Ilia releases from this year. So this year, they've actually released they had 4 releases, but it's like 5 products really. So they had the Super Serum Skin Tint. They had the bronzer and highlighter powders. Then they had the, what are these called? The lip oils? The tinted lip oils. Then they had those. And then they had the eyeshadows. So I figured since I haven't formally really reviewed any of it, I've talked about it in various videos, I just do like an end of the year review of all of Ilia's 2020 releases or something like that. So that's what we're doing. So I am going to be putting on other makeup in between, but I'm only going to be talking to you guys and reviewing and showing you the new releases. So none of the other stuff. I am doing all Ilia today. So I did bring in here like an Ilia powder, concealer, brows and mascara, and their cheek thing. But I won't bore you with that this video. So yeah, I thought that'd be kind of fun. And that's what we're doing today. We're just reviewing Ilia's 2020 releases. But so also before I get into this, I found the cutest, most fitting Christmas ornament for 2020. I'm gonna go ahead and link it down below. I'll put a picture of it right here. It's like a pink trash can on fire. It's like, it says 2020 on it. So it's like a dumpster fire. So if you're looking for like the perfect, you know, Christmas ornament for 2020, go get this one. it's pretty funny because this year has been just like quite the friggin' dumpster fire. Okay, so the first launch of this year was the Super Serum Skin Tint, which is their SPF tinted moisturizer / foundation products, because it does have a little bit more coverage than a foundation. So they've got the other foundation. It's the Super Serum, or it's the Serum Skin Foundation. I can't remember what it's called, but it's their Serum Foundation. So they do have something with higher coverage, but it doesn't have SPF. And this actually does have surprising coverage for like an SPF, like a tinted SPF type product. So mine is in the shade ST4 Formosa, which is sort of like their light neutral shade, I think. So it does have 12% zinc oxide, and it says it's SPF 40, but that definitely depends on how much you use, and do I probably use the correct amount for it to be SPF 40? Probably not, but I also never leave my house, so I don't worry about it too much. And if I know I am leaving my house, I do put on an SPF underneath. So it's like a liquidy product. You guys have all seen reviews of this before. This isn't the first time you're seeing this. So I put it on my hands. I did my skincare like a couple of hours ago. Actually meant to talk about my hair. I'll talk about it in a little bit. And then I just sort of like go on. Until I rub it all in. I mean, it does have surprisingly good coverage, and my skin is doing decent enough right now that I don't need like a super heavy full coverage foundation. Not that I ever really wear that anyway. I'm not really one for super full coverage. If I'm having like a really bad breakout, I do tend to go with powders because they do have more coverage. And I find that they're more forgiving. They blend better than, you know, like most liquids do. So that is that. I know my lights kind of make me look super, you know, glazed. Plus this is more of like a dewy, it does have like a pretty dewy finish. Does it dry down? I put powder on it pretty quickly. I do powder it because this is a lot of dew. So I do put powder on it pretty quickly, so I can let it sit for a few minutes and see if it does dry down. But in terms of like pores and stuff, it doesn't sit in my pores too terribly noticeable, and it'll be even less noticeable once you powdered, but in my opinion, you definitely do have to powder this. Otherwise it will start to, you know, settle in lines and stuff. And it does have this like extremely dewy finish. So I'm gonna let this sit just for a few minutes to see if it dries down at all, because I usually, like I said, just go in with powder right away. And then I'm gonna go wash my hands. So for me, ST4 is a pretty good color match. I know it looks kind of light going on, but then it does sort of more, I don't know, like correct to your like actual tone. So as you can see, you can still see my skin through it. If you've got like really active breakouts or you like have a lot of skin stuff going on, it really doesn't, it's not gonna hide it in any way, because you can see I've still got, you know, like scars showing through, discoloration, things like that. A few things that I need to, you know, conceal. So I'm gonna do that real quick and then we'll talk a little bit more about this. All right, hopefully that's a little bit less distracting now that I'm not super, super shiny. So for me, I do really like this. It does definitely need to be set because it is very dewy. Depends on how you like that, but I definitely think it needs to be powdered. Otherwise it does just, you can feel it, you know, on your skin sort of like all day. Plus it's like that really shiny finish. What I think this is good for me is like if I'm having a day where I'm like going out to the park or I'm just hanging out in the backyard and I just want to put a little bit of makeup on to like even out my skin tone, or if I'm just running some like quick errands during the day or something like that. You know, for me it does wear pretty well all day. If I'm actively touching my face, it definitely rubs off in places, but if I manage to keep my hands away from my face, it does last quite a long time and I don't have any, you know, like super breakage areas unless I've eaten or again touched my face, or maybe I'm like wrestling with Oliver or something like that. So I do think it lasts a decently long time, but like I said, it just needs to be powdered. It does need to be set. But I do really like it. I do like the finish of it once it's got the powder on. It does nicely even my skin tone without it looking like I'm wearing super heavy coverage foundation or anything like that. You know, there's a little bit of sun protection. So if you're having a day where you're like just out in the backyard, you know, you're probably gonna be fine with that. And the powder that I did use also does have like SPF 20 in it as well. So there is a little bit extra. Again, how much is the amount? I don't really know, but I did, you know, powder. You can see I powdered, you know, my whole face. So that's the first launch from this year. I do really, really like this product. I do think it's a great sort of like everyday product when you don't want like full coverage or anything like that. So that is the first Ilia launch from 2020. Then Ilia came out with their powdered pressed bronzers and highlighters, and I only have one shade of each. I have Drawn In, which is their light bronzer, and then I have Decades, which is their I guess it's not really the lighter of the highlighters, but it's the one that's more champagne versus the one that's more rose gold. So these are the two that I have, and I really, really, really like these. So this is the brush that I like using the bronzer with. It's the EcoTools Buffing Bronzer, which I think you can only get these on like Amazon now. EcoTools, I love the EcoTools brushes, but I do find that they sort of like cycle through their brushes way too quickly and they discontinue them a bunch. I don't know, that's, you know, that's how I feel about that. So this is a really easy bronzer to apply. It like nicely warms up the face without looking too orange or too brown. I might have done a little bit too much at my forehead, but shh, don't say anything. But yeah, I really like this. This is one, it's a matte bronzer, and this is one of the bronzers that I pick up probably the most often because I really like the color. I really like that it's matte. I really like that it's not orangey, because sometimes bronzers can be like way too orangey. They're going for sort of like tropical glow, but they end up being like, you know, orange, super orange. And if you get a foundation, or if you use a foundation that is a little bit too light, you know, just go in with a little bit of bronzer and it takes care of it. Then you no longer look like, you know, you're wearing too light foundation. And I just really like the way that this one looks on my skin. Gotta even out what I did up here. A little more bronzer on my forehead than I would usually use, but that's okay. So I pretty much do it everywhere. I do it, you know, on the forehead, I do it on the cheeks, here. I drag it a little bit down here, and then I do it the nose and the cheeks. Is that too much bronzer? I don't know. Do as you will. Makeup is very personal. It's like however you want to do it, but that's really how I like to do my bronzer, and this one blends really nicely. In my opinion, it looks really natural. While matte, you know, it's still kind of like, I feel like there's like a glow. You know, there's a glow coming off of me. Okay, did the brows and blush really quick so we can get into the highlighter. So this is what their highlighter looks like. It does have a pretty high shine. It can look, you know, like pretty frosty. But I actually really like that look, and I think it's done really well where it's not too like glittery, you know? So I really love the bronzer. And I really love the highlighter. Look at that. When you want just like a really like intense highlight, huh? And I like barely used any. Just like brushing it. Just really lightly. I'm using like a pretty feathery, you know, brush. You just get that nice glow. And then I do it a little bit. The nose, Cupid's bow. I sort of highlight all over. I know I took away all the shine. I powdered it and then I just like put it all back, but it's with highlighter instead. I know. So yeah, that's the bronzer and the highlighter. I really like those. I do wish that Ilia would come out with some more powdered formulas, like come out with powdered blushes. They do have powdered eyeshadows, but I do wish they would do some like powdered blushes. So like maybe that's next, because I don't know what else can they do, because they've pretty much got everything at this point. You know, they've got lipsticks, they've got the lip oils, which we'll talk about. They've got the eyeshadow quads, they've got the powdered eyeshadow, you know, thingies, which we'll talk about. They've got the bronzer and the highlighter. They've got the foundation, the tinted SPF. They've got, you know, setting powders and concealers, eyebrows, mascara. So like, what else can they do? Ilia, if you're watching, pressed blushes, pressed powder blushes. Okay, so then the next thing that was released was their lip oils, which I am gonna do last. Because lip is the last thing that I do, and I don't want to like go over with eyeshadow if I'm doing like a lip thing. So then we'll talk about their eyeshadows first. So these are the liquid powder chromatic eye tints. I did buy, I should say this, I should have said this in the beginning, but I'm not on Ilia's PR list. This I did get sent, but the rest of what I have here, I did buy myself. So I bought this myself. I bought the blush and the highlighter. I bought the lip oils myself. I bought the powdered eyeshadows myself. So, you know, I mean, even if I am sent stuff, you guys know that I just like tell you my real feelings about stuff and like how it really is without any regards to whether or not I'm on a PR list, because being on a PR list means nothing to me. I mean, it does help out, you know, in new releases and stuff, but it doesn't sway my opinion of a product one way or the other. So yeah, so I did buy most of this myself, as I've bought most of the Ilia stuff myself. So I just wanted to make sure that I said that. So yes, I did buy these when they came out. I waited on them for a little while because I was like, okay, do I really need these? Do I really want these? But I did want to try them because I did really like the colors that they had released. You know, Kosas has those liquid eyeshadows that sort of like dry down. They don't really dry down to like a powder finish necessarily, but they're sort of like the same concept where it's like a liquid eyeshadow that like dries. And they had some unique colors here that I did, you know, really want. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch them actually. So this one is Hatch. I've worn all of them now, I think in various videos. So I've got Hatch, Mythic, Dim, and Glaze. And what I love about these is how hard they set. So you do have to work with them pretty quickly. So you work with them one eye at a time, and because they do set pretty fast. And once they set, you're not able to blend them. You can rinse them away with water really easily. You don't even need like a special kind of like makeup remover or anything to get rid of them. It's hard to blend. You can't blend them after they've dried. So here's Hatch, Mythic, Dim, and Glaze. And these are, I love them all. I do love them all. And I've gone back and forth on the website on if I want any of the others, but I keep looking at them and I'm like, you know, they're not colors that I would really ever wear. So I don't think I'm gonna get any of the others. I just really like these colors. This green color is really pretty and really wearable. It's not like a super neon green. It's not very like stark and kind of, if you're not out there. So if you're not into like out there eye colors, I do think this is like a great way to wear green with it being wearable and not too out there. I don't know how else to describe it. Mythic is a beautiful rose gold. Dim is like the perfect purpley, God, I just love this purple shade. I have done a look on my channel with this. And then Glaze, which is the one I'm gonna use today because I just wanna kind of go for just like a light wash, is like a, what kind of color is that? Sort of like a shiny beige kind, like a little bit of pink, but it's like kind of beige, almost kind of matches my skin tone, but it's like got that nice shine on it. And I love these. They last all day. Like I said, they remove really easily, but once they dry, they don't budge. You can like rub them. I don't find that it moves them or like, you know, they flake off or anything like that. So I've done it a couple of different ways. I've done it with a brush, but if you just want like a light wash of color, just sort of like do it with your finger. They're just really easy. They don't crease, so I don't prime my eyelids or anything like that. I don't find the need to. This one it's gonna be like barely there. Just because I didn't want to do anything like crazy on my lid today. I wasn't looking to, you know, wear any other colors. So I was just sort of going pretty basic and minimal. But like, look how simple that was. I can go ahead and link the other video I did too, where I used Dim, so you can see sort of like a darker color, how I blend it out with, you know, a brush and all that. So I'll go ahead and link that below. Check it out if you haven't watched it. But they're super simple. I really like these. I definitely have been reaching for these a lot lately and not anything else. Because I love how easy they are. I love the colors of them. Like I said, they don't budge, they don't crease. They're just such fun, wearable colors. I do wish they had a blue though. That's the only color. So like I wish Kosas had a green in their formula and I wish Ilia had a blue. They have a couple of taupes or like taupey-like colors. They've got a gold. I think they have another pink. Maybe not. I can't remember what else they have. I think these are pretty much dry, so you can sort of see once they're on. They don't go anywhere. This one at the end might not have been fully dry, but these three haven't moved. Yeah, it's just that one at the end wasn't totally dry, so it's like dragging over all the rest, but yeah, I love that. I love how simple they are. I love how beautiful they are. They do have, you can tell they do have some like sparkle and shine to them, so if you don't like, you know, sparkly eyeshadows, depends how you feel about that, but I really love them. I think this is a great formula. I really, really enjoy them, and I'm glad that I picked them up, especially Hatch and Dim. If you get two colors and you happen to like greens and purples, Hatch and Dim are just like so beautiful. I would highly recommend those shades. Okay, so now that we have mascara on, let's talk about the lip products. So this was actually their release before the powdered eyeshadows. So it went the serum skin tint, the bronzer and highlighter, then the lip oils. So these are the Balmy Gloss lip oils. I have the shades Only You, Tahiti, and Petals, which I guess I can swatch for you on my my other hand. Kind of hard to swatch with your left hand, but we have Only You, Petals, and Tahiti, which I'll probably go with Only You today. Now, this is my least favorite launch of the year. I don't particularly like these. I don't reach for them hardly ever unless I'm like forcing myself to test them. I don't think the formula is all that special. They're not very long lasting. I mean, they're moisturizing, but they're not, you know, would I give up my Ficlo lip glosses for these or even my Kosas lip oils? No. I definitely prefer those two over this formula. This formula just feels very thin to me. Plus, I'm not super crazy about any of the colors that I got. I just feel like this one is like really nude on me. This one is Only You. I don't know. And I don't find them like super, I've already wiped off the swatches, but I don't find them to be like super different, you know, once you get them on the lips. And they do, they feel really oily, where what I kind of expect from products like these when they're released, like lip oils or lip glosses or lip serums or things like that, I expect them to feel like glossy or serum-like and not just like a straight oil. This feels like an oil with like a tint is what this feels like to me. And again, I mean, it's not incredibly moisturizing. I definitely don't feel like they condition my lips the way that the Kosas lip oils do or the Ficlo lip serums do. I mean, they're a little bit like of a nice feeling, but they're not, again, I don't think they compare at all to a lot of other gloss formulas that I've tried, especially Kosas and Ficlo. I definitely prefer those formulas over these. And I'm kind of mad at myself that I bought 3 because I don't really want to use them hardly ever. Maybe I should do Petals instead. Well, this is Only You, in case you wanted a swatch of this one. But let's go with Petals. This one's more of like a pink. That might work better. See, I'm just not really crazy about this one either. I just don't like the colors of these. For me, in my opinion, I don't find them flattering on me. I know that you guys usually tell me I can wear just about anything, but these almost just feel like, I don't know what I wiped my face with, but there was cat hair all over it, which is making this extremely difficult. I just feel like these are too nude. Like they almost feel concealerish to me. I don't know. They're not flattering. I don't like the formula of them. They wear off really quickly. They're very thin, very oily. And I don't like the colors. So of all of the Ilia launches from this year, that's the only bust, in my opinion, is the lip oil. I just don't think, I think they should have worked on their formula. It definitely could be more cushiony. I feel like the colors could be less concealerish or like nude or like babyish. I don't know what the correct like word that I'm looking for is, but they just don't, I just don't like them as much as I like some other stuff. But I love the powdered eyeshadows. I think that is a great formula. I love the colors of them. I think they're all really flattering. I love the bronzer and the highlighter. I wear those all the time. And I do really like the Super Serum Skin Tint, even if it's not like an everyday product for me. I definitely think it has like a time and a place, and it does have surprisingly good coverage for, you know, an SPF, tinted SPF type product, and it does look really nice on the skin once you powder it, and it does last a decently long time as long as you're not, you know, rubbing at your face or like touching your face, because obviously it's going to wear off in that case. So we can do like a little close up ish. Sitch. I've got lots of pores, but it doesn't sit in my pores the way that like the Kosas tinted face oil does. That does if I use it on its own. So this is definitely a better option for me if I want to use like a tinted face product. But I don't want it to sit in my pores because this one doesn't, but it does need to be powdered. Otherwise it will settle and it'll look too dewy and feel too, you know, too like wet on your face. But I mean, aside from the lip, I really love pretty much everything else from Ilia. I love their concealer. I love their brow product. I love their mascara. I love their multi-sticks. I have a bunch of them at this point. I think they make really great products. I think the lip oil is where they struck out. I just don't think that is a unique enough formula with unique enough colors, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my review of the Ilia 2020 launches. I hope that that was helpful to somebody. If you've been for some reason waiting for my thoughts on these specific Ilia products, I don't know. But yeah, I never put like, I hardly ever do like specific review videos for like releases. I always mean to, but then I just never get to it. I sort of prefer to review skincare. I do love makeup, but they end up turning into like get ready with me's or just like testing new makeup products, and it's never really like reviews. I know I have so many that I want to do, like Tower 28 and Say Beauty and PYT, Kier Weiss. I've got a lot of makeup reviews that I'll be doing next year, because I want to get into like reviewing makeup and not just reviewing skincare or just doing like swatches or something like that, you know. So I thought this was kind of fun. Let me know if you enjoyed it, if you thought that you liked this formula of video, this format, this formula. I did write down the Kosas launches from 2020. If you would like to see that video, let me know and I could definitely put that together. But I have reviewed most of the Kosas stuff on its own. Like I did do a video for the concealer. I did do a video, well, not really for the bronzers, but it was like part of a testing new makeup. What else did they release this year? The deodorant, and I wrote them down, but I've already forgotten. Something else. Oh, the mascara. So I haven't really formally reviewed the mascara either. So, okay, so the only one that I did was the concealer. So if you'd like to see sort of like a roundup review video of the Kosas ones, just let me know. Leave a like or comment it down below, whichever you want to do. But if you also found this video helpful, give it a like and let me know your thoughts on the specific Ilia products. What you thought of them. Did you pick any up? Did you like them? Did you hate them? What were your thoughts on them? So yeah, so this is the end of the video. I was gonna comment on my hair in the beginning. How many days of dry shampoo do you think I have in my hair right now? This is my, I'm gonna show you my new favorite hairstyle. So I do the half pony thing, and then I do the pony. That's my new favorite way to wear my hair because it gets it out of my face. It doesn't pull it so tight that it gives me a migraine. Like when I used to put my hair up in a bun, it would give me like just such bad migraines. But this pulls it out of my face. I don't think it looks terrible. I think it looks kind of cool. And it's a good way to keep from having to wash my hair many number of days. I've been wearing this hairstyle like this for 3 days. But the correct number of days of dry shampoo in my hair is 5. I am on my 6th day of hair, and I am not gonna wash my hair again for 2 more days. So this is what I do. This is what I do when I don't wash my hair for many, many days. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about my hair. I know that's not what this video is about, but I wanted to talk about it. So I hope that you guys liked this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know again if you want to see a Kosas version of this, or if there's any other makeup type video that you would like to see from me, just leave it down below. I'm gonna try to do you know, some stuff that you guys want to see this year, next year. So thank you guys for being here. I will see you in my next one.